All right, who's going to jail? That's all I want to know. Because it started with it was safe and effective and do your part and do it for grandma and you'll get a burger and a donut if you do it and you'll get to eat with your loved ones if you do it and you get to keep your job if you do it and you get to go see your dying loved ones and then their funeral if you do it. And if you get the thing, then you won't get it, I promise. And you won't give it to others, I promise. Oh, and your kids should get it. And oops, sorry, we were wrong, so now you need to keep getting more. And you're dangerous and crazy if you don't get them. Oh, and that heart problem and those seizures and that autoimmune condition and that stroke and those menstrual and fertility issues and those reactions and that death. Oh, yeah, that's not related. Well, how do you know? Oh, it's just not related. Stop being one of those racist anti-vaxxers. Follow the science. And now here's how it's going in 2025. The FDA is planning to put a black box warning on COVID shots by the end of 2025. Now, what is a black box warning, you might ask? It's the strongest type of safety alert issued by the FDA for prescription or over-the-counter medications. It highlights serious or potentially life-threatening risks associated with a drug based on medical studies or evidence of preventable adverse effects. So again, the question we should all be asking right now is who the fuck is going to jail? Because you coerced and manipulated and lied to the entire world. And some of the people in my life that I love more than anything got a vaccine that you told them was safe and effective. And now you're admitting that it's not, with the most consequential risks associated with it. Kaylor, move on. Get over it. Yeah, that's exactly what a manipulative, narcissistic psychopath says after they lied to you and it all starts to get exposed. So respectfully, shut the fuck up and admit that you were wrong and pray that justice doesn't come after you. But it will if me and my people have anything to do with it, and that's the fucking vibe today, baby.
Isn't it crazy how most people need no proof to believe a lie, but demand endless proof to believe the truth? If the government or a medical doctor or someone else that makes money off of injections tells them that injections full of illness-causing chemicals can prevent illness, they'll believe it. But if a friend or family member who makes zero money off of injections tell them that illness-causing chemicals can actually cause illness and not prevent it, they will question it. If the government, doctors, or someone who benefits off the sale of sunscreen tells them that sunscreen full of carcinogenic chemicals can prevent cancer, they'll believe it. But if a friend or family member who makes absolutely zero money off the sale of sunscreen tells them that carcinogenic chemicals can have negative effects on health, they won't believe it. And they will demand endless proof to even question it. It's almost like we've been programmed to never question authority and believe.
The mass injecting of more than half the world's population with that drug is the worst thing that has ever happened in the history of our species, and it has happened now. Yeah. And I know that's very, very difficult for a lot of people to accept, particularly people who've had it. But we are now living in the aftermath of that, and the repercussions are going to go on, I'm afraid, for a very long time. It's not like, oh, lots of people died and now they've finished dying, and obviously we want justice. People will keep dying, keep being extremely ill, probably be infertile, affected in all kinds of different ways for years and years, I'm afraid. And people have to kind of accept that thing took place. And anybody who was involved at any kind of high level with making that happen is not your friend.
The largest.
Hi, this is Cassandra S. Dunn, your favorite registered nurse, coming to you live from an undisclosed location. I just wanted to let everybody know that not only am I a registered nurse for several decades, almost 3, I'm also a certified federal medical investigator. I am bringing you today information about the swab that is used to test for the current claimed pandemic. Facebook took down my previous video, just happened to disappear, so I'm bringing you another one. I'm also going to transfer this video to my website, purplelionproject.com, as soon as I'm done, so that it's not disappeared again. So the swabs that are used for testing, I have 2 of them here, made by different manufacturers. The first one is made by Ningbo HLS Medical Products, and it's made in China. On it, it says sterile/EO. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to give additional information what the EO stands for. Here's the other one. This one is made by Miraclean Technology, and this is also made in China. It also says sterile/EO. So these are 2 different swabs that are used deep into the nasal cavity, halfway up to your skull, to test for the current pandemic. Don't want to say the name of it because I don't want to get banned again from Facebook. So what is EO? EO stands for ethylene oxide. So these swabs are coated with EO, ethylene oxide. So what is ethylene oxide? For the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA classified ethylene oxide as a human carcinogen in December 2016. The EPA, as well as the International Agency for Research on Cancer and the National Toxicology Program, classifies ethylene oxide as a carcinogen to humans. Evidence in humans indicates that exposure to ethylene oxide by inhalation increases the risk of lymphoma cancers, myelomas, and leukemias, and for females, breast cancer. Ethylene oxide is mutagenic, which means it can change the DNA in your cells. Children may be more susceptible to the harmful effects of mutagenic substances. It also states here that acute inhalation exposure of workers to high levels of ethylene oxide has resulted in nausea, vomiting, neurological disorders, bronchitis, pulmonary edema, and emphysema. Some evidence exists indicating that inhalation exposure to ethylene oxide can cause an increased rate of miscarriages in female workers. Reproductive effects have been noted in inhalation. Exposure studies include decreased testicular weights and sperm concentration and testicular degeneration. Ethylene oxide has been shown to cause lymphoid cancer and tumors of the brain, lung, connective tissue, uterus, breasts in animals exposed to ethylene oxide by inhalation. So that's from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. This is from the Department of Health and Human Services on ethylene oxide. The DNA damaging activity of ethylene oxide explains its effectiveness as a sterilant, and this same property accounts for its carcinogenic risk to humans. This is from the Canadian version of OSHA. It's called the Canadian Center for Occupational Health and Safety. This is their information about ethylene oxide. It states it's very toxic, causes cancer, changes in your genetics, and reproductive toxicity. It says it's very toxic, fatal if inhaled, may damage fertility, and causes genetic defects. Also states that it's a carcinogen, known to cause reduced fertility. So again, I just want to go over and let people know what is in the swab that's made in China. Some state workers where I live are having to have this test done daily before they enter their work site. I wonder what the long-term effects of this swabbing is going to be. So again, here's your proof. These nasal swabs that are used to test for this, quote, pandemic are made in China, dipped in ethylene oxide, saturated with it. And this is what they're putting up deep into your nasal cavity, close to your brain. No, thank you. So again, this is Cassandra Dunn, registered nurse, certified federal medical investigator, coming to you with information about the swab.
We make energy from sunlight. People who are in the sun eat less food. Let your kids be outside in the sun. Take their shirts off. Let them run around barefoot on the grass. You know what you get from the ground? You get electrons. The same thing. It's straight free energy. What runs through a mitochondria that makes all the ATP? The electron transfer chain. It's not a fat acid chain. It's not a carbohydrate chain, protein. The sun is a nutrient. It is not out to kill you. The idea that the sun is giving you cancer is the most asinine, insane, gaslighting, ridiculous statement on earth. It makes all life exist. It charges everything. We are alive because of the power of the sun. Yet you want to tell people to slather on carcinogenic chemicals, bake it into their skin with the suns, and say, oh, that's what's aging you. I'm 51 years old. I've never used sunscreen. I don't have anything done to my face. I eat a crap ton of meat, and I drive a convertible. I want as much sun as I possibly can get, you know, because it makes me younger. They're lying to you. They've lied about almost everything. Do the opposite of what the government says.
We were told.
Did you know that nicotine?
It was Nepal, now it's Italy. The people of Italy are in the streets. It's going on a week now. They found out that their government, Republican and Democrat, were all working together and just taking away and chipping away at the Italian people's rights, and they got sick and tired of that country in the Middle East that seems to have way too much control in their government, and guess what? They said, no, we're not going to be violent. We're just not going to work. We're not going to buy anything, and we're not going to pay our taxes, and you're going to go bankrupt. It's working, folks. It's working. And guess what? That country in the Middle East that's got their hands in every other country, look what's going on at TikTok. Look what's happening right now on Facebook. Look what they're doing on YouTube. Look what UK is doing with that digital ID. You can't work, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't nothing without this digital ID. It is stand in line, do as you're told, and that's coming. That's coming, kids. It's coming. And if you don't stand up now, we're going to be like dogs on a leash. We ain't going to be able to get to them. We ain't going to be able to get to them. You got to stand up, kids. Look at the world. It's got a blueprint for us.
The quote that they give is, Vietnam has closed 86 million bank accounts. They have frozen them, seized the assets, but they've closed the accounts. And that's 43% of all the accounts. There's around 200 million in Vietnam. Really? And the quote that they give is, prevent fraud and cybercrime. It's always in your best interest, except when it isn't. Can you imagine that number, 86 million, how many millions of people and families that have actually gone into serious trouble because they cannot access their account, either because they refused or couldn't give, the digital ID. That's what they wanted. You had to register a digital ID with biometric data. Give more of your privacy away without your choice. And if you don't do it, we'll take your money, whether you like it or not. And the Canadian government has already shown us how to do this, because they closed the accounts of the truckers because of a peaceful protest. How the people that authorise that are not in jail serving long sentences, well, is anybody's guess. But the serious point here is, it's coming here. They're pushing for digital IDs. And what's going to be the pushback? When is it going to stop? We had it during COVID. Oh, just get one vaccination and you'll be fine. And then they took away your permissions after you got your vaccine and said, no, actually you need another one, and then another one. The point is, these type of people, they keep on taking more and more. The more we give away our freedom, our power, the more they'll take. We are on the edge of a cliff. We don't actually act now and start saying enough is enough. Whether we have to form a brand new government, whatever it is we have to do, or just stop using cards, we have to show that we are not going to allow this or accept this. Because we all stop going to work, or we all stop using our cards, they'd pretty much listen to us rather quickly. And that's a choice we still have at the moment. If cash disappears, that choice is gone forever. And I wouldn't like to think of the world where we are controlled, where we can drive, where we can fly, what food we can eat, and the bank can choose whether to let you make that purchase or not. That's a dangerous road, and it really is quite scary, because just think of COVID during those times, you would be in deep trouble. You either get whatever the government's pushing, whether it's that, whether it's something else, whether it's a digital ID, or you pay the price. This isn't a democracy, this isn't freedom, and we should resist it as much as we can by choosing. Always choose an option that keeps our freedom alive. And at the moment, cash is the one thing that we still have a choice with. Think about it. Otherwise, where are we going to end up? I'd love to hear your comments, I'd love to hear your opinion.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Baha, Kodash Rakah. Double honors to elders and those that came before us, and salutations to the elect, house of David, 144,000. So, as you can see, the truth is becoming more and more relevant, and it's building up its power and density and its weight, just like a snowball that is going down the mountain. As it continues to go down, it grabs more density, and it gets bigger and bigger as it goes faster and faster as it's going down the mountain with more velocity and speed, and it cannot be stopped. So the same thing with the spirit of prophecy and the spirit of truth and the prophecies coming to pass, and us as the prophets and what we've been saying, what we've been warning everybody about. That Esau is the devil, alright, the RFID chip, which it's really the vaccines, is the mark of the beast, and majority of people were deceived into taking it. So let's go to Ezekiel 33, because now it's being known that prophets were amongst you, and the word of the Lord is being confirmed by these new articles coming out. Now they're saying that the vaccines, the COVID vaccines, are a black something, which means they're very dangerous and they can kill you and they can give you terrible diseases, incurable diseases, so on and so forth. Ezekiel 33:33, and when this come to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. And what they did with us prophets is that they misused us. 2 Chronicles 36 and verse 15, but in Yahweh power of their father sent to them by his messengers, rising up at times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. But they mocked the messengers of God and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of Yahweh rose against his people till there was no remedy, right? No cure, no remedy. So another thing we have happening is evil and wicked men are waxing worse and worse. Men that have come against us have discontinued from the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, the new covenant, the fulfilling of the law, and the prophecies of Revelation, which we're living in now. They're now saying that lesbianism is not a sin, which obviously it's a sin. Yeah, the Lord did not create Eve and the woman to lay down and make love and do things with other women, alright? No, because our God is not the God of confusion or death, but is of life. And the only way you can make life is by man and woman. 2 Timothy 3:12 says, verse 11 says, persecutions, afflictions, which came unto me in Antioch, and Iconium, at Lystra, what persecutions I endured, right? Because of those of us of the elect, we're going to endure all things. We're going to get through these times. We're going to get through all these demons and darkness and spells and the witchcraft and sorcery and all the wiles of the devil, right? It says, but out of them all the Lord delivered me, right? And the Lord delivered us from these scams and lies, you know what I'm saying? The elect can't be deceived. We can't be tricked and misled into taking the mark of the beast or defiling our temple or polluting ourselves, you know what I'm saying? With anything that the devils, the false prophets, they want to put into our body, into our mind. It says, yeah, all that will live godly in Yahushai shall suffer persecution, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach Yahushai. So this is what makes us wise. This is what gives us wisdom and the ability to stand in this time instead of falling like the many are falling. They're falling away. They're losing. They're not able to stand again, make a stand. And like what you see happening in other parts of the world, for example, Italy, and other states and mainly countries like Nepal. They're overthrowing the governments. They're going against their governments and their leaders. You know what I'm saying? They're not buying and selling anything. They're not paying their taxes. They're just letting it all go, letting it all be destroyed. You know, because the people is what is keeping it up, keeping it afloat. You know, so once the people wake up and realize, hey, wait a minute. We're being mistreated. This is not right. This is, you know, so on and so forth. Then the end can come even faster. The end of Esau, the end of all this wickedness, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and this is their kingdom. This is their last toe. And in this last toe, Yahushua is going to come and judge it and destroy it. And he's going to bring about an everlasting kingdom where righteousness dwells. So let's go to the book of Revelation. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we die daily, you know. We're crucified with Yahushua. So all these laws and legislations and things that they change and they implement is all to kill us, to take our life away, to take. They don't want us to be a nation. They don't want us to have our health. They don't want us to have our sovereignty, and so on and so forth. And he caused all, both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell to he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So people that are carnally minded, they'll say, no, it's not the vaccine, it's an RFID chip. I can still buy and sell. I can still buy and sell. But you have to understand that people that didn't get the vaccine, like me and others of the elect that really didn't get it, we were fired. We were terminated from our job. We couldn't make any money like that. So that access us out from being able to buy and sell. You see how crafty the devil is. So what you see happening now, you have Gog and Magog, right? North Korea is turning up, Russia's turning up. Let's go to Ezekiel 38, because they're telling the West that the people of the West, the citizens of the West, that the leaders are corrupt, and that's who they're at war against. So there's so much truth and more light coming out about the reason of World War I and World War II and Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. Right? They were nationalists. They were about their nation. And you had them Amalekite Jewish people. The Amalekites were polluting their country. They were promoting their media, their lies of transgenderism, of pedophilia, of adrenochrome, of all kind of abominations. That's why they were burning all those books, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. So this is Ezekiel 38 and verse 7. It says, "Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." So Russia, China, North Korea, all these nations of the East, kings of the East, is being prepared for them. The way is being prepared for them, and they're going to be a guard. They're going to defend Iran. They're going to defend Venezuela. They're going to defend Ethiopia, large amounts of Africa, because they have a lot of ties to these lands. You know, they buy a lot of Venezuela's oil, and they have a lot of deals with them. That they're their allies. You see, so this is all coming to a head now in these last days, in this time of winter, which Lord said, "Pray your flight be not in the winter, nor on the Sabbath day." So just like in the times of Maccabees, if anyone was to profess himself to be a Jew,
you'll fly. Get ready to bounce.
The evil Grecian Edomites, they said they must be killed, you know, if they didn't eat that pork. So the symbolically, the eating of pork now is taking a vaccine and taking part of whatever these devils, whatever these white people, they're not white, they're really black, whatever these black people tell you to eat, or whatever they tell you to get, you get. If they tell you to do this, you do it, you know. And it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Even with the COVID thing, man, they once it came down to like the end of it, they were starting to tell people, oh, put something in your anal hole. Like, what? It was crazy. Because they were mocking you people, man. They were laughing at you. Alright? And you didn't want to take heed to the prophets because we didn't have any money. That's why the Lord said, when a rich man speaks, everyone wants to hear what he says. Look at Bill Gates. He's all rich, right? And everyone wants to listen to what he says. Oh, yeah, he made this vaccine and we're going to take it. Like he's a good guy. He's not a good guy. He's a horrible guy. Right? But when a poor man speaks, they say, what man is this? Who is this? Same thing with the spirit of Yahushua and us, the elect. Blessed are the poor in spirit. That Lord said in Revelation 3 and 9, I know your poverty, but you're rich. I know them that say they're Jews, but are not. They're the synagogue of Satan. You know? 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. You see? You couldn't even say, hey, I'm an Israelite. I'm a Jew. I'm a child of God. You know? So these are definitely last days that we're living in. And like the brother, he did a magnificent video going into how that Denmark and Sweden and certain certain countries of the EU, is against America.
Right, so, these last days, a lot of things are being revealed in this time. And, even that Statue of Liberty in Brazil just fell by that mighty wind. So these are all signs of the time and signs of the Lord's doing and of his judgment. So all the nations, all countries and peoples were deceived by Esau and America, Babylon's wine, and their fornication. They all want to be like them, liberty and overly liberal and, sodomy and gay, women with women and man with man and pedophilia and all this stuff. And that's why you see, young brothers getting carried away with diverse winds of false doctrines and even elders. So there's no respect to persons with God, old or young. And you can't be in that Christian mentality of like, oh, we have mercy, we have pray and God. That's like Catholicism, man. The Lord said, pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry for them. He will not hear them. He will not hear you when you talk like that. So the Lord said to judge righteous judgment. And the Lord also said in prophecies, Revelation, let the wicked be wicked still, let the righteous be righteous still. And after the second and third admonition, after you tell someone 2 or 3 times, the Lord said, let them be a heathen, a publican unto you, to no longer give them any attention or any, any love, right? They're a heathen now. So let's go to the book of Ezra. This is the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra 8 and verse 56 says, verse 55 says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, those that are not the elect. All right, it's either you're the elect or you're not the elect. You're like your yea be yea, your nay be nay. There's no middle. There's no I don't know or I think. It's either you're elect, chosen, 144,000 and the chosen ones, men, women, children that believe in the doctrine and the council we're speaking, or you're not. All right, it's either you're in or you're out. There's no middle ground. It says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, right, the Statue of Liberty is fallen in Brazil. When they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. See that? So they forsook the Lord's way. They scorn the Most High's law. Oh, the law says this, but no, and this, and They scoff and mock what we say. Verse 58, and said in their heart, verse 57, moreover, they have trodden down his righteous and said in their heart that there is no God yet, and that knowing they must die. See, they must die. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah. And you see what's happening in Thailand now. We're 86 million accounts that didn't comply to the digital ID. Their bank accounts have been frozen. So this is all the time of Jacob's trouble. This time of the judgment of Esau, the judgment of the 2/3 being cut off. This is all the time of it happening simultaneously. So this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 14. It says, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. You see, so when we go to the book of Proverbs 4 and verse 2, it says, for I give you a good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. So a lot of people, they're forsaking the law of the Most High God, right? And they're not fulfilling the law of God, so they're not in the new covenant. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2. Preach. I'll start verse 1. I charge ye therefore before God and the Lord Yahushai, who shall judge the quick and dead at his appearing in his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. You see, things are. Let's get the definition of fables. Matter of fact. So a fable is a fictitious tale. It's a fake story. It's a fake account. All right. A false statement or belief, falsehood, right? Exactly. A myth. All right. This is what a fable is. So they believe in the lies. That's why you have this young brother. He's now talking about, oh, it's okay to be a lesbian, because the Lord said, when you forsake the righteous and you forsake the Lord and his spirit, you wax worse and worse, and you deceive, and you're deceived too, like we read earlier. 2 Timothy 3:13, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So this is just the evidence of the times we're living in and what you see happening in the world right now in these last days. Second Peter chapter 2 and verse 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lusts of uncleanness, and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. Verse 12, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin, beguiling unstable souls, and heart they have exercised with covetous practices, cursed children, which have forsaken the righteous way, and are gone astray, fallen the way of Balaam, the son of Besor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. Verse 18, for when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lusts of flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, for of whom a man is overcome, the same is he brought in bondage. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of the Lord Yahushua and Savior Yahushua Mashiach, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse for them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again. Right? They've gone back into the world, back to the sin and the darkness, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire. Revelation 22 and verse 10, and he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. So it's either you're working for Yahweh Bashem Yashai and you're speaking the truth, every man to his neighbor, or you're doing the works of Satan. You're doing the works of the Esau of confusion, all right? And you're being filthy, and you're being unjust, and you're being unholy and ungodly. So that's why the Lord said, either make the tree good and his words, his heart will be good, or the tree will be bad and his heart will be bad and he's going to speak bad things. All right? It's heavy. These are definitely the last days. And many things are being revealed at this hour, this time now. Shall judge the angels. Let's get this precept in Corinthians. Judge the angels. So Lord, he's raising up the judges to judge the nation of Israel and judge also the world. 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 3. So verse 1, dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Right. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things are pertaining to this life? See that? So we are to judge righteous judgment. We're not to judge for reward or for hire. We're to judge the truth and have no respect to persons, whether old or they're young, whether they're rich or whether they're poor, whether they're light skinned, whether they're dark skinned, no matter what it is, whether they're man or woman, whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright. Leviticus 19:15, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor on the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. You see, and this is what Yahushua said as well in John 7:24. Judge not by the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. And you judge a man by what he speaks, what he says. What comes out of his mouth is what's in his heart. You see, so if the law is not written on your heart, then you're not going to be speaking fulfilling God's law. You're going to be speaking breaking God's law and sinning, right? And all this mumbo jumbo babbling, right? Heavy. So let's go to the book of Psalms 96:13. Before Yahweh, for he cometh to judge the earth. And right, his saints are with him, the elect were with him, 144,000. He shall judge the world with righteousness and the people with his truth, right? And the law is truth. Yahushua is that law. Deuteronomy 25:1. If there be controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. Period. That's how it is. You know, but see, those that, if someone's really not a judge of the Most High, he's not an elect, he doesn't have discernment, he's gonna be in that middle, that lukewarm. Oh, I don't know, I don't think so. Oh, this, oh that. You know. What the Lord's doing, he's using us as angels to put the sheep on one end and the goats on the other end. Ecclesiastes 45:26, God give you wisdom in your heart to judge his people in righteousness, that their good things be not abolished, and that their glory may endure forever. So that's what's happening. Judging righteous judgment. Wisdom of Solomon 9:12. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thy people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my father's seat. Right? So we're being made worthy to sit in our father's seat. Yahweh Shai. And that's why the Lord said, if you follow me in the regeneration, you shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Revelation 19:2. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he had judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and hath avenged the blood of his servants at her hand. So this is all the Lord is doing, you know. Man with man and woman with woman and all this sodomy and wickedness, and they want to make it seem like, oh, that's love. No, but they're sensual. That's that wisdom that comes from beneath, that comes from the lower vibration, you know. That demonic sensual spirit, right? Sensual. They have not the spirit of Yahweh Shai, and devilish. Jude 1:19. These be they who separate themselves. That's what a lot of guys have done. They've separated themselves from the congregation, right? From the doctrine, from the council. Sensual, having not the spirit. They don't have the spirit of the Lord, of truth, right? They have the spirit of the world. That's why they speak of the world, and the world hears them. Right? James 3:15. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. You see, that is devilish. So the Lord told us to rebuke and to correct and admonish. And if people don't repent, and they're gonna be condemned and judged, man. All right, that's the truth. Is that's love? Is speaking the commandments of the Lord. You know, so we're washing our hands. Proverbs 29:1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. All right, so you have to take heed to the sound doctrine and repent and follow the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, and the 144,000, the elect, what we're saying, and our example that we're given in these last days. Because things are really, really turning up, and praise the Lord for it, man. Our redemption draws nigh. Time is short, and keep praying for a few days, man. Lord's hearing us, and he's definitely speeding this thing up, man. All praises, glory, honor, faith, Yahweh Shai, Baha, Kodash, Rakah, Abba, Ball, Shalom.
You'll fly, get ready to bounce. Fly, get ready to bounce. You'll fly, get ready to bounce.